So we are live on Facebook. Just give 2 minutes for people to join in, and then we'll start. So I'm going to mute everybody for a minute. Namaskar, we are going to start now. Thank you all for joining. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जो फेसबुक से के माध्यम से हम लोग के साथ जुड़े हैं। आज का वेबिनार बहुत स्पेशल है। वैसे तो सारे वेबिनार स्पेशल होते हैं, पर आज का वेबिनार इसलिए स्पेशल है बिकॉज वी आर मीटिंग आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. That is the one thing. The other thing is we are going to discuss a very, very special topic today. Now, as people know, have known GKPD for many years. We have been very busy in the last few years. We have been busy fundraising. We have been doing medical webinars on the COVID pandemic. We even had a musical concert, Ek Saath, last year during COVID. In addition to political outreach, in addition to lobbying internationally, in addition to meeting the who's who in the governments, both in India and abroad. So we've had a very busy few years. I mean, one of the things about GKPD is that we have always tried to be very, very open about what we are doing. So everything is there in the open. We, after every event or any initiative we have a press release. We discuss everything, we put it out there open in the community, and we always invite feedback. However, there are always going to be some questions from the community, because it's not easy, because everybody is so widespread these days. Some are in India and some are in abroad. So बहुत मुश्किल है face to face, obviously, to discuss the questions. We have recently, after the COVID pandemic, had a face-to-face protest at Jantar Mantar, which some of you might have joined. So we thought, let's use today's webinar to talk about some of our past initiatives, our current initiatives, and what we are going to do in the future. So it's going to be a very informal discussion. We have got some senior members of Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora here. Please join us via Facebook, and please send us your questions on email, on Facebook. We are going to follow them and track them today, and we are going to try and answer them all. The questions can range from anything, how, why, and how GKPD was formed, to what the future plans are, and criticism is welcome as well, as long as it's not personal criticism. So without much ado, let's start. Like I said, we have got most of the senior members of GKPD here. So I'll start with introducing our most senior member, both in age and stature as well. So we have Utpal Kaulji here. Utpal Kaulji has been a lifelong worker for the community. So he's Utpalji, you want to unmute yourself? So Utpalji has dedicated his life to community work. He has been a community activist even before 1990, as most of us know. So yeah, and then we have another chief volunteer and co-founder of GKPD, Dr. Surinder Kaul, who also most people know, who again has dedicated his life to community work. And now he is the co-founder of GKPD and has driven most of our initiatives. And then we have Virender Kaulji. Virender Kaulji is based in India. He's our international coordinator. He is involved in most of the GKPD initiatives, obviously, but he is more focused on RTIs and political outreach in India. Last but not the least, we have Nirja Sadhuji. She is also our international coordinator. Nirja Sadhuji, again, even before 1990, she was involved in community work at various levels. But now, as part of GKPD, she has been involved even more. So for most of us, it's 24/7 work in addition to our day job. So all questions are welcome. Like I said, criticism is also welcome. So on that note, I will hand it the mic over to Surinder Kolji. Surinder Kolji, do you want to unmute yourself to start the program off? We are going to be having a very, very informal discussion. So get your cups of tea and ask the questions.
Thank you, Shafalika ji, and namaskar to everyone. I will start with this that, GKPD, even though we were working from 2008, 2009, but our primary emphasis was on creating awareness and outreach with the think tank and the political system in India. So in that, basically, as Shafalika ji, you might have seen that we have had several interactions where you have been the part. There have been interactions where many organizational heads have been part from time to time, whether it was our meeting with Dilip Pargaonkar as the interlocutor, either it was the interaction with Neil Kashkari in US, who was in the deputy treasurer of US, or Manohar Joshi, or Ram Madhav, or many interactions we have had. So that was basically to showcase a consolidated face of the community on various important aspects of the community. Then basically in 2017, we felt the need that there is a need for the whole community to come together for a very impactful voice. And that perhaps we interacted with each and every community leader in 2017, including Panun Kashmir and Kashmiri Samiti Delhi. And at that time, all these organizational heads agreed for the need for coming together for an impactful voice and demands in a very consolidated way. So that is when we had gone public, the way we went all out. Because prior to that, we used to keep it for only awareness program, but this was the time that when we went all out public. There was also a reason for that. In 2017, there were spate of FIRs which were being launched by the state of Jammu and Kashmir against our people. That included, I don't want to name some because of the privacy issues, but definitely one I can name was that everybody knows is about Sushil Pandit ji. And then when we saw that they are cherry picking our people and there is no response from the community, we felt the urgency that there is something going on and we need to have a very strong voice to counter that. And every leader agreed, and then we had a very exhaustive sessions lasting for months with every organization, including Panun Kashmir and Kashmiri Samiti Delhi, All India Kashmiri Samaj, because we realized that as regards social things, the whole community has done a very great job to keeping the exile consciousness alive. All of us have done a great job. Above all, many individuals have been significantly contributing towards the community affairs by way of their writing. There has been so many books that came out. So there was a need for having a very consolidated voice and impactful voice. And that is how we went public on that. So then we slowly initiated a lot of task forces based on the interest groups, involving experts in this whole movement, getting all the resources, whether our role in COVID, whether our role in awareness campaign, whether our role on many other things. So in nutshell, that is what was the need for doing. As I stated that, we have never said that GKPD is an organization. Basically, it is a platform to empower and magnify what our organizations are doing. So that has been the purpose of that. But in any case, we do say that this is the only civil society of our community wherein anybody and everybody can get associated, take a lead, develop his or her team based on the interest, and we all will support together. So that is basically the mantra of Global Kashmiri Pandit Diaspora. So let me stop here, Shafalika ji.
No, thank you, Surinder ji. Thank you, Surinder ji, for that excellent introduction. So while we are waiting for the questions to come in through Facebook and via email, we already know some of the questions because those of us who can follow GKPD social media and run it, there have been quite a few questions coming, especially since Shri Vivek Tankhaji passed the bill. So I'm going to hand it over to Nirja ji to ask some pertinent questions first regarding the recent private members bill.
Yeah, thank you, Shafalika ji. Thank you, Surinder ji, for introducing once again GKPD and the motivation behind it. The recent bill in Rajya Sabha that was tabled by Shri Vivek Tankhaji has everything that we've been asking for, or we have been struggling for, or we have been vehement on. Be it the social, political, and economic rehabilitation, protection of our properties, renovation of our and restoration of our temples, safety and security, setting up of a inquiry commission, and last but not the least, the declaration of KP status as IDP status and not as migrants, and recognizing it as the genocide. So all these aspects have been covered in the bill, but the most questions that I see regarding the bill is why Vivek Tankhaji, why a Congress MP has tabled this bill in the parliament. Surendraji, would you like to take this question, or yeah?
Yeah, I can take this question. The best thing in GKPD is that it's all transparent. Everything is in the public domain. So this bill, we have been talking in the GKPD, where we have people from all shades, from all countries, many countries, many cities in India, many organizations from mainstream organization members in there. And we have been telling for last 3 months that this is what we are doing. Now, there was a reason for that. If you see the trajectory of our community, I mean to say, I know that the current establishment is doing things, they have made certain bold decisions, but it's true that nothing as regards our community has been highlighted or told that we are doing this thing. So there's a complete uh, silence on that. So this has been bothering. Not that we interact with all the people, we interact people from different political parties, we interact. So because it's a political problem. So the problem was that even though the current establishment has been doing, they have their own way, but there was an urgent need for our issues to reach out to the highest temple of democracy. And that is basically how the democracies work. Now, let me be very candid that for last 6 months, actually, this has been an exercise going in 6 months, but it took speed in last 3 months. Now, there was a reason for that. We were knowing that the Kashmir files is coming and it's going to create a buzz. We knew it 100% that there will be a conversation. And while that a whole thing has been going, will be churning, at the same time, we were making efforts to make our voice reach the highest temple of democracy. That's when we have had Vivek Tamka Sahab, who is the Rajya Sabha member from Congress. We talked to him and we told him, is there any, can you do this for the community? Because his tenure is maybe May, June, his tenure is there. And we had several discussions and many GKPD members interacted with him. We all need to realize he is a Kashmiri Pandit. And his tenure in politics, even though his connections must have been in Congress for long, many years, but his himself connection with Congress has been last 5 years. And this is the last year in the form of a Rajya Sabha member. So we discussed it, the team of experts of GKPD interacted with him and shaped the bill, the elements of the bill, what it should be, what it should contain. So I'm glad that it was stable. There was a lot of back thing that, we were scared that the processes of the parliament, whether it will be taken up. So because there was a draw of lots, and in fact, in addition to the bill, there was a resolution for all the parties. I think there's an echo. Somebody's phone is open. Okay. So that was the need of the hour, and that possibly it happened. Sharika Devi was with us. We had the blessings. So it went through that process. And initially, it was supposed to be taken on March the 17th, but then because of the Holi, it got deferred to April the 1st. So basically, it was a very strategic thing to keep our issues, make it reach to the parliament. So I see that many members are uncomfortable. Why Congress? He's a member of the Congress. Congress is responsible for our fate. But I would like to tell them that, when Manmohan Singh ji was the prime minister and Azad Shah was the chief minister, I'm pretty sure that everybody was interacting with them. So at that time, there were no issues of Congress and this. But that is the necessity. That is the democracy, how it works. And basically, our issue is a political, and we have to see devise a mechanism where we will have everything crystal clear. When there is a debate, we'll get to see who is on this side, who is on that side, who are certain issues, so they will get to know. So these are basically the processes of the democracy that we are trying to get in, from irrelevance to relevance, from being written off to becoming exerting in the right way, in the way democracies work. That was the intent of that. And I've seen, that's why we created this forum. Let people ask questions, any question, any uncomfortable question. That is the civilized way of discourse, rather than going on your Facebook, denigrating somebody, calling names. So that looks a little bit thing, but everybody has freedom of expression. They can use it. And you can also see that, they can be your Facebook friends, they can be your WhatsApp friends. So that is why we wanted to encourage this conversation and dialogue. Neeraj.
Yeah, Surendraji, I think that's the most relevant point you said. At this point, when because of, I would say, the Kashmir files, there's a huge awareness, not only within the country, but in entire world, about the plight of Kashmiri Pandits and the genocide that has been denied so far, and justice not meted to us. It is very important and pertinent to kind of converge and talk in unison than denigrating and belittling people for whatever reasons, and not reaching out. I mean, I would always suggest that if you have an issue, if I have an issue with somebody, I would pick up a phone and call, or just send a message through if it's not comfortable for the person to make a phone call. But again, as you said, it's a democracy, and freedom of expression and the choice of words. We go with whatever comes our way. Sorry, I forgot as Chizangtre, the Sani Benin Majan Sanan Chizangtre Seta Mubarak, Seta Post, Sani Ruzun Malun Varkar Teak Poet. It's a very important day for all of us, but unfortunately, being here, we miss out on those occasions. But we do remember, and we are very much connected through all these social platforms, and we see all the functions that are being held in several cities in India. So happy, but at the same time feeling a little bit sad for not being part of it. Utpal ji, bumara yam tahnish mechu tahiak varya hak sawal akchu isn't gari chuan one. Ki yime NRI chu yiman kya chu kashir se. Why people like Surinder ji or myself in a very small role, or Shafalika ji or Virender ji, who is partly in Mauritius, partly in India, as kya interest chu Kashir sitten, as kya is it GKPD kya is it chu, and what is our interest? So I know why what my interest is, so I don't want to speak up on that behalf. But you being in this activism for as long as I remember, Utpal ji, people would say 90 से पहले मैं जब से मैंने होश संभाला है, मैंने आपको activism करते हुए देखा है, because we belong to the same community, same small Ranawari group, and also we are related. So I know your activism from my childhood days. What do you have to say about this question that is being asked consistently, and it kind of pinches me a little bit, but okay, obviously थोड़ा सा नून मिर्च मिला के खा लेते हैं.
Let me tell you, Shafalika ji, I think it was in my destiny that I started activism at a very young age. And you can imagine that I was only 9 years old. I was in 9th class when I went to from Srinagar in a day bus, not in the morning. I went to Jammu to meet Guru Golwalkar, RSS chief. And I attended his lecture, and he was told that there are 2 boys from Kashmir who are, one is in 9th class, as one was younger than me, he was in 7th class. And he was so excited. We were allowed to sit with in a very, very serious meeting. So that kind of activism was there, and we even discussed Kashmir with him. We were only 11 people: Amarnath Vaishnavi, Amarnath Gunju, Tikalal Tuklu, and then we were other total 11 people from Kashmir. But having said that, so I was a student activist. Surendraji knows that very much, and I was very happy that Dr. Ajay Trungut, he was not doctor, he was a senior to Dr. Surendra Kohl. He introduced me Dr. Surendra Kohl, and then we had organized a big youth conference in 1985, and Surendraji was actively involved in that. And there are many, many stories about Dr. Surendra Kohl ji when he was studying in medical college. Let everybody in the Kashmiri Pandit community know that Dr. Surendra Kohl is from Habakadal. Dr. Surendra Kohl is Habakadlu, the US Medical College, Srinagar Paran. Tampat ab you jom it put sari exodus sari bani refugee Panis Mulkasmus, Dr. Surendra Kohl the bani refugee, Shafalika ji the bani refugee, Virender ji the bani refugee, Yamara Nirja ji the bani refugee, Utpal Kohl the bani refugee. Which was sari jom, Kangav Delhi, Kangav Bami, Kangav Bangalore. Mion board brother Surender ji, Sutyav Delhi. Tamsin Tamishu Ladko Baba, Abhinav Jeevanathan. Such Winkes USS must. Me when you such ha cut category must have. Tamsun father cut category must have, me cut category must have. Isliye me advice. I have one advice and I have one suggestion for whole community. It is not only those Kashmiri Pandits who left in 88, 89 or in 90. But I will include all those Kashmiris who left Kashmir, who were forced to leave Kashmir even 200 years before, 300 years before, even 400 years before. So I every time say that Kashmiri Pandits who left Kashmir, and we are 1 million people living in 50 countries, and nearly 500 places in India, we belong to one stock, and everyone has right, and everyone has full right to talk on Kashmir and to talk on Kashmiri Pandit community and to talk on issues, whether in UN, whether in Indian Parliament or in any assembly or any seminar or webinar. And Nirjaji, I want to give you, I am so proud of my community that we have 450 organizations. No community in the world has 450 organizations. If you see yesterday, Navre was organized at 100 places. This is the living community which has taken this tradition for hundreds of years. And so we have the capacity and capability to challenge these jihadis, all those who took arms, and we can deal them. We know how to deal them. So it was nobody is sleeping well till we go back to Kashmir. So it is Surendraji in Houston, it is Nirjaji in New Jersey, it is Shafalkaji in London, there can be Veer Khar in New Zealand, there is Ashji in Australia, there is Ajayji in Germany, and Utpal Kohl in Delhi. And so we have nearly, I can say we have 50,000 spokesperson for the community. I am proud. Every young man and young female, they are representing Kashmir, and they can talk about the community. They can talk about the rights, and so we will definitely win and definitely go back as we have said. And even yesterday, Mohan Bhagwatji said that Kashmiri Pandits, they will go back and they will go. It will be their choice how they will go. It will be their timetable. So my salute to all of you, those who come forward and work for community, even when you are living 10,000 kilometers away from Kashmir. Kashmir is in our heart, mind, and soul. I am proud of all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Utpalji. That was needed.
Yeah.
That was very much needed.
That was needed. Nija Didi, I just wanted to ask a follow-up question before I forget. Somebody asked. So, Surendraji, just to complete on the bill, because that was the main thing. What do you think, in your view, although it's a difficult question to answer for you, but what do you think is the next step in the bill now that it has been tabled in the parliament?
Right. So the first objective was to keep our community issues relevant. Now, since it has been tabled, the process sees is that, and it has been passed by a voice vote. So next level is about introduction. So what will happen is the government, the parliamentary secretariat will allocate a time for discussion on this bill. Now, there are two things that can happen. One is at this time, government can intervene and they can say, okay, this bill has a lot of merits. You, as a private member bill, you can withdraw it and government will introduce the bill. So that is one option. Another option is that the government will allow the private member bill to discuss and initiate a discussion. And then subsequently, looking at the merits and the proceedings of the debate, there can be a constitution of the parliamentary committee. And basically, then whatever recommendations based on this bill are concerned, they will take cognizance of that. So these are 2-3 things that is in my mind.
Thank you, Sundar. Over to you, Nija Didi.
But I wanted to add to what Utpalji said about this NRI Bata, and this seems very strange. It is same like we were being called Dala Bata. Now we are being called NRI Bata, But who are these people who are speaking, and why are they speaking this language? There is a reason for that. Now tomorrow we will tell all those who have left Kashmir 200 years ago, they will say, we want to do something, and they will start doing something for the community. So are we going to tell them that, no, you have been out of this for 200 years, you have no proprietary? Is this the argument that we are giving? Now, who is dividing our small limited community the way we are dividing? We have almost 40,000 people living in foreign countries. Is it hurting those scholars so bad? Are they feeling so inferior? Do they have so much of inferiority complex that they feel threatened? Their scholarly activities feel threatened? Their miscalculated, misguided attempts get threatened? So this is all about insecurities. So we don't want to give too much hoot to those people who are speaking. We see from day to day, from year to year, the strengths of GKPD and open transparency. So that we will always do. It is my ownership, and I want everybody to take ownership of community affairs. Dadagiri nahi chalegi isme. Dadagiri nahi chalegi. Okay. So this is what has happened in last 30 years. This will not happen anymore. We have seen the hostilities. We have seen how characters have been, character assassination of our community activists has happened. Not anymore. That is why they are feeling the pinch, because they are getting isolated. But truth, denial, if they are in the phase of denial, let them be, that is fine. But I can appeal them. I can always request them, be part of the community. don't try to be different, and leave this holier than cow attitude. Okay, we are all together. We have to do certain things urgently and emergently, and that is what we are trying to do, and will continue to do that. Thank you, Neetaji.
And Surendraji, I think it's very important to remind people that whenever we had an initiative that we were working on, we have reached out to community and to organizations, and to all these organizations, regardless of the differences, regardless of the name calling and all that. We have reached out at every stage and asked for their expertise, asked for their valuable input. Now, if people choose not to be part of it, we cannot force anybody. So I think that transparency has always been there, whether it was for a good reason, like the Kashmir festival we had invited almost everyone to be part of that 32-day, long. It was exhausting event, but I think the most pride I take in is that we have a repository now of all these accomplished, established people of our community that most of us didn't know about. So we have been pretty transparent, and we have reached out to everyone at every stage of our initiative. So I feel proud about that, and that's how it should be. Virendraji, sorry,
Actually, before Virendraji step in, why does this thing happen? If somebody sees us in competition, if if they see us as a competitor, and they see that, oh, they are succeeding in every project, they are doing this, they are succeeding in this A, B, C, then the bickering phase starts. That is what. But if they see us part of them, then there won't be this thing. If we see them as a part of this will not be anything. That's why we stay away from negativity, because we are task oriented. Our emphasis is on projects, right? Yeah,
Yep.
this just wanted to add.
And there is no competition, absolutely no competition. Kashmir is as my
from us, there is no competition for sure.
There is no competition.
But from others, there is
from somebody is perceiving that they are our competitors, they are there to kill us, they are there to finish us. So that is why their perception is like that. That's why they see you as a competitor. And once they will see, oh, you are thriving, community is getting attracted towards you, then this bickering phase starts. Why are these NRI Bhattas doing this thing? Who has given this? They are RSS conduit, they are BJP spokesperson, and now they are in dilemma. What happens? Now we were saying for all 4 years, he's a RSS conduit, he's a BJP spokesperson. Now how the Congress has come in? Now they are surprised. So they don't have the clarity. They will keep on changing their goalposts, but we have to stick because we believe in community.
Virendraji, would you like to share your thoughts?
I think Utpalji has put it up very well, that this question of NRIs and Jammu, and it's a very pathetic debate, and it should not have been started. It's actually an insult to the intellect of the person who started it, who tried to categorize it. That person has belittled himself. Anyway, we respect everybody. And as Surendraji said, that we have tried to maintain an atmosphere of transparency and openness in GKPD. And there are numerous projects to be taken up in the interest of the community. I remember when I started bragging that we should be doing legal action and all that, I was told that you take it up.
You take it.
Yeah.
So anybody can come in like me, take up a project, and you can be assured that you will get all the backup. And the best thing about GKPD that I like is when we take up a project, we put a sense of urgency into it. We don't take it up as a 5-year plan. We take it that it's, before I finish my breath, I must finish the work. So like that, with that sense of urgency when we work, that is the reason you see event upon event successfully being conducted with wide far outreach. People are thinking that we may be having tons of money and hundreds of able workers. It's not that. It's a passion. There's a passion to take up a project, take up the ball and run it and put it in the goal.
Absolutely.
That's how the GKPD works. And every one of you are welcome to come in, show your interest, make your own team. We will also help you and take up a project and conclude it. That's all. And that is how I was just checking the mail. The first mail on the bill has started on 16th of September, 2021.
Yes.
And the bill has been in process since September 21.
Absolutely.
Then it was almost in January. After that, Vivekji could not get the slot. Otherwise, the bill would have come before the Kashmir file released.
Yes.
It was
Absolutely.
Goddess Sharika's blessing that she has made it a sequence. She ensured that Kashmir files comes out first and the bill comes out second, which is now having more impact. It's all divine intervention.
Yes.
Somewhere I
Wherein
believe that being led by Goddess Almighty.
Yeah, Virendraji,
If there are
yes, thank you, Virendraji. I just wanted to quickly ask you about the vision document, because we are discussing current and future initiatives, and one of our key initiatives at the moment is the return to homeland vision document, which you are leading on along with Professor Aurobindo Ogura. Do you want to just briefly tell the audience what it is about, what the next steps are in it?
Yeah, actually, it started with a very brief concept in late 2020, and then we got encouraged by our seniors like Moti Kolji and others. They gave us personal calls and they said we should build on it, and then we asked for inputs. Then we decided that if the document has to be robust and practical, we must ask some experts. So we went to some police officers. We talked to some army people. Then we talked to people in administration. We talked to people in politics. So let us call them domain experts. After that, when a brief blueprint was ready, and I must say, Aurobindo ji is a tireless worker, and he has so much passion. He just kept adding more and more of his ideas, and it started becoming, more visible and very robust. Then we went for a series of community interactions. And anyone who tells me, anyone from any prominent Kashmiri Pandit, if he tells me that he was not invited, I would say he's lying. We have invited everybody.
Sure.
Some came, some did not come, but it's all right because we, met everybody across the various professions and various expertise levels. We got feedback. Even Kashinath Pantaji, he also said that this is some people from Jammu Kashmir also saw it, and they also said 90 out of 100. That is how we got encouraged, and we kept on moving forward. Finally, the vision document got a final shape, and we released it to the public. First, we shared it with some politicians, and then finally, again, to maintain our tradition of transparency, it has been released publicly. It was a 3-hour seminar, and this plan addresses the topmost point in our community's mind, that is the security. Rest assured, security is paramount. It is the governing factor of this vision plan, of the return plan. It has been adequately addressed. After that, second one is the political empowerment, which has been converted into which has been also incorporated in the bill. Both security and political empowerment, it has been incorporated. Then this vision document was shared with Vivekji. He has borrowed a lot of concepts from the return and vision plan, which have made the bill so, he couldn't do it so fast because we had done so much of work. So it's all done very, very methodically, and it's not a rush to the rush to the head blood, the knee-jerk operation. It has taken 2 years to prepare the vision plan. Every word has been checked twice or thrice. So rest assured. If you want, you can again go through the vision document. If you have questions, again come back and ask. No issue. We will try our best to by you.
Yes, just to add, Virendraji, we had the seminar, and then the vision document is being released in the community magazine over 3 editions. So the first 2 editions have gone out. If people want to study it in more detail, there's a Spade magazine, and yeah, so 2 articles have gone out. We'll do 2 more, and then people want to study it in detail. But you're right, we had the webinar and we discussed everything there.
Yeah.
So now we need to work on the detailing. We need to take it further and develop each concept to a broader level, a better level. But for that, we need more resources. And we also, as Dr. Surendraji said, somewhere we need the government to take a step forward and tell us, yes, we appreciate what you are doing. Let us take it forward together. Now for the bill also, we now expect government to come forward and tell us something. Yesterday, Mohan Bhagwat has given a very encouraging statement. I personally took it that he said that each of us should become Lalita Ditya, Uktapida, and we should, in our own areas, try to, make a coalition of like-minded Indians and build a voice for us to go back. That is the best way to go back. We have to mobilize the entire country under a single voice, single opinion that we must go back. So I think what he was hinting was, go back and keep working with your communities in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, in Tamil Nadu, Delhi, US. Keep building this opinion, keep building this wave, so that the government is forced to listen to it. And they will also get a sense of urgency now that the whole country is speaking in our favor. And for that, Vivek Agnihotri ji has done what a single picture could do. 1,000 words could not have been done, could not have done it. So this picture has propelled us like anything. Our requirements, our ideas, our plight, our solutions, everything has been now propelled so much, and it has been magnified so much that now it is easier for us to talk, build coalitions. And I think our next objective will be in GKPD to build more coalitions. For that, we need the youth to come forward. Already some youth have started coming and asking to join the group. We need them to go back and talk to their universities, talk in their colleges, build an opinion across the world. That will be a next step.
Thank you, Virendraji. That was very important, actually. Our youngsters have to take ownership now, and they have to lead this. Before I go on to, I have several questions on the Kashmir files. I mean, not questions, I know the answers, but for our viewers. But I would like to ask one question that somebody asked, that is GKPD at some point of time wanting to make it a structural organization, like a structured organization? Are we intending to
See, I think if I give it to this, we already have so many organizations. They are very structured. They have very big bylaws. They have one thing is clear, that we wanted to keep GKPD away from this chairmanship, convenership, presidentship. Yeah, if that is the structure, no. As a civil society movement, we want to keep it alive so that everyone gets associated with it. Now, this is the beauty of GKPD, that any global event can be created within 2 hours. It doesn't have to go through the bureaucratic hassles of a structured organization, get approval of everything, and then at the end of the day, board of directors will say, oh no, I don't like it. The problem is that this GKPD is an activist driven organization. So that is the trust in each other. I know that Utpalji has dedicated his life. I know that he will not do anything wrong. I know that ABC has done so much, they will not do wrong. So that is a difference between an activist-led group, and we want to make more and more activists, develop that bonding and develop that work ethics. So that is the beauty. And sometimes good things happen if they are disorganized. And that's why we see that whatever GKPD is doing, people may say that they're disorganized, but if that is they are disorganized and doing so many things which are once in a lifetime opportunities, then definitely something is right going on there. But I should also mention that we also have challenges. We also feel that because we are not an organization we don't have our account number, we don't have this thing, because that jeopardizes our many projects basically. And we are trying to find out, while we maintain that we will not make it an organization, but we may at some stage consider creating a sort of a some sort of a foundation where we can have not-for-profit status, but keeping the GKPD as it is in a civilian pursuit of civilian movement. So that's what I wanted to add. Maybe Utpalji can add more things on this.
Yeah.
Let us hear him out.
You're on mute, Utpalji.
Basically, I totally agree with Surinder ji. I have seen all these organizations, and we have a lot of experience. And where people are waiting, when is the election? When we will make the president and vice president? Then there is lobbying. Then there is one group. Then there is another group. So then who will be the secretary? Who will be the cashier? Who will be the financer? Who will be this and who will be that? So इन सब परेशानियों से बाहर निकलकर हम सब यहाँ मालिक हैं. We are all owners of this civil society. हम सब president हैं, हम सब spokesperson हैं. And basically it is question of how much dedication you have, and then it doesn't matter. People are watching, and people know if who is working, and so क्यों हो रहा है?
No,
Okay, so I 100% agree with Surinder ji, but at the same time, I also feel that sometimes we need finances and then we don't have account. So these are, I still consider that that is not a big issue. We solve that. But let us be like that. And I appeal to all youngsters. I appeal to all young male and female and everyone. Please join this initiative so that be part of this बहुत बड़े आंदोलन का एक आप हिस्सा बन लीजिए, और कश्मीर के लिए और कश्मीरी पंडितों के लिए, और इस जो हमारे साथ जेनोसाइड हुआ, जो हमारे साथ नरसंहार हुआ, उसके लिए आप काम कीजिए, और कश्मीर को हम फिर से वैसे ही शारदा भूमि बनाएंगे, वैसे ही मार्तंड की भूमि बनाएंगे, अगर आप सब का साथ होगा तो.
Very well,
thank you. We've got some questions coming on Facebook. We'll take a minute, Nijat, if you can look at the questions. So I need one question that is for Surinderji. Surinderji, some people are asking, why do you think Government of India is taking so long to engage with Kashmiri Hindu groups? We have been working on this like 32 years. What do you think is GKPD's view on the non-engagement?
See, I know that the community organizations have been working for 32 years and more prior to there, and we have been in public domain from 2017. Frankly speaking, I have a feeling that, I'm not sure whether Kashmiri Hindu rehabilitation is a priority. Let me be very candid. I don't know. We have not seen any visibility on that, even under the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji's leadership. There is a need, but that is perhaps we wanted to become relevant from irrelevant, and that is why, when we try to swim, when you try to move your arms and legs, you may do something rather than getting drowned. So this is an effort to make the community relevant, our issues relevant, get it onto the center stage, and that is very important. Government. We are not government, even though people say that we are the spokesperson of the government. But sometimes I feel really proud of our achievements, that despite nothing, that people are saying they are B team of BJP, they are B team of RSS. So as a group, we have sustained and done things without any help. So that is something we feel proud, and we should feel proud. People can say they are B team of this, B team of this. That doesn't matter, but we have confidence in ourselves. We have confidence in our ethics, and that is perhaps why we are moving from irrelevance to relevance. But I think now there will be a compulsion because of this bill. There will be compulsion. The good thing about the bill is I have not heard anybody criticizing the contents of the bill.
Absolutely.
They may say Congress, BJP, RSS taking recourse to that argument and rabble rousing, but I have not seen even a single criticism on the contents of the bill. That should make all the team members, the task members who were drafting this bill very proud. All right. So that is really, really very great.
Thank you, Surendra. Utpalji, there's a question for you, I think from on Facebook, is that although we say, I mean, not specifically for you, but for GKPD, is that we say it's a civil society movement, but it's not an organization. But there has to be some process, you know, because there's so many people now interested in joining. And, you know, there have been so many emails, especially since Kashmir files, we have been inundated with emails. People are saying, how should we contribute? I know we have a WhatsApp group, you know, but that's a very basic WhatsApp group. So it's difficult. I mean, would you want to shed some light on how do you want people to engage in the process?
See, I think last year we took some projects, like in COVID. It was a GKPD and KSF project where we collected a lot of money. People appreciated our hard work, and then we are able to take care of 70 children for their fee. It is a one social sector project we have. So in future, we may have we will have a project to take our youngsters to Kashmir to show them where is Amarnath, where is Kheer Bhavani and Hari Parvat. We can take everyone to their own village. So there can be many projects, like our Virender ji has some projects, Shafalika ji has some projects. So we have so many, and we have to see what kind of interest they have and how they will contribute. Like we can have 1% publicity. If they are interested, they can join for our % publicity. We can have for data collection about Kashmir. Some can, now we will have a big museum project.
Yes.
So if there are some people who are specifically interested, keeping our, we will have this Holocaust museum, or what we call what genocide have been. So we have to have a lot of work in that, so people can contribute in that. So it basically we have to understand it is a project-based civil society.
Thank you, Utpalji, but more specifically, because, you know, India is vast, you know, is a big country. And would you want to tell us, you know, we have got coordinators in different, you know, like volunteers like me and you, but who are kind of taking a lead in various parts of the country. Like for Bengaluru, we have R.K. Matuji, and Delhi NCR, we have Kashi Aknoonji. So I think people, you know, we can streamline that process. If people are interested, then they can contact them.
Definitely, yes. We can give in on WhatsApp or even on Facebook or Twitter. We can give some contacts where they can contact. Sorry, they can contact these local coordinators, and then it will be streamlined very nicely, and we will work together. And it's a very good gesture that people are offering their services for the community and for Kashmir. So we will work together, and we will make big change because of that.
Yes,
I may add a couple of points, Shafalika ji, with your permission. Yes, a lot of people are reaching out. That's correct. And every day, our emails, the Twitter handle, through Messenger, Facebook messengers are reaching out. We would like to immensely thank you for having that trust in us. Thank you so much for that. As regards projects are concerned, we have tons and tons of projects, but definitely we would like to have a lot of more human resources for that. And we have a lot of high-ended projects, like we have declared that we'll be writing to Nobel Laureate Committee to so there's a drafting. If you are good in drafting, if you are good in this thing, please get associated. create your team. We will give all technical and data
Logistics.
for your draftings. Yeah. Similarly, we have, as Utpalji said, that now our next project simultaneously is one of the very, it's going to be flagship. That is the Genocide Museum, and already some work has started. We need to see how to build a team of architects. What should be the elements of that? It's a big project, and we want to see that the expert committee on that is formulated. Now, as regards expansion is concerned, I know we have lots of dedicated community leaders and volunteers who needs to get associated from every city in India, from every city in the world, and they develop their own team and keep on doing things. One thing I would also like to mention, that GKPD wants to keep our mainstream organizations as the front runners and work with them to empower them. But unfortunately, the right message is not going through. Somehow they see us in competition. That's why I'm emphasizing this word competition. Because it's a civil society, we want to empower and magnify our mainstream organizations. But then there are some little friction points always there. But we are sure that slowly and surely, lot of things, lot of clarity will happen, lot of churning will happen. Everybody will realize the stakes that the community has, why there's a need for a voice, why there is a need for a consolidated voice. So just wanted to add these things. So my request to everyone is, I might have missed some projects. You can create your projects depending on your interest. Yeah, somebody is good in debates, create a youth interaction session. Go ahead, do this. There is no no in GKPD. Anybody has any interest? Yeah, go and do it. Own it and do it the way you want it. That is the beauty. It doesn't have to go channelized to the president, chairman, and have the blessings of that. That high command culture is not there. You are in command. You are in everything. You are in control. Sky can be the limit. I have named some projects based on your suggestion and flow. You can create an object. You can reach out to head. I think this is important for this community. Can I do this? Yeah, these are the things that basically will consolidate in near future.
Just one thing I want to add, Shafalika.
Yes,
projects some projects are need based, some projects are ongoing projects. So जब need based projects आते हैं, जैसे COVID के time पे, it was a catastrophe, whether it was in India or elsewhere in the world. The way GKPD took up that challenge, having a doctors panel for continuous 2 weeks and educating and helping the community to go to kind of sail through those difficult times. God forbid, I would not wish that to happen again, but there are things that come up now, and then you have to genuinely feel that that pressure, that this is something that we need to work on. And it could be me, Shafalika, Surendraji, Utpalji, anybody, any of us who feels that this is something that needs to be done now, and we own it. And that's something which all of us feel, I wouldn't say proud about, I would say that we feel that ownership, that we don't have to check with 10 different people and get their consent, because it's a well-meaning project. It's something that is going to benefit the community, jiske liye hum kaam kar rahe hain. So that hierarchy is not there. And that's what the beauty about GKPD is. And I'm totally 100% sure that this should be a civil society movement only. And the moment we register as an organization, we are going to get kind of confused with that hierarchy.
Thank you, Nijati. There's a question. I think it is for Utpalji. Utpalji, you are getting most of the questions because you are the cultural ambassador of GK. I consider you as, the cultural ambassador. Baki politics and everything, a lot of people are interested in, but culturally, I think you are on a very strong footing. So the question for you is, apart from political aspects of our current drive, is there any plans to highlight our cultural ethos? And is there any calendar of activities GKPD is going to follow so that our culture and traditions are preserved?
let me tell you that if you have seen during last year, during COVID time, for 1 month was Kashmir Festival.
Yeah.
And so it was so successful. I think by now maybe million people must have seen that. And now we can have some physical programs also. And we also will encourage those people who know our traditions, who know our ceremonies. And there's a lot of interest in younger generation to understand that. And then about our history, our culture, our archaeology, and to understand Kashmir in general, but particularly about our history, and in particular in that also to know about ancient Kashmir history. Yesterday I tweeted about Lalita Ditya. It was yesterday his birthday. Very, very few people know about Lalita Ditya. He was greatest king, more greatest than Alexander and more than any Mughal king. So we have to educate, and we may come with very good programs, both online and offline.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing I want to add, I think with regard to youth involvement, we do, so we forgot to mention, we do see a bunch of messages coming from the youth for their involvement in GKPD. So that's a good sign. When kids of my son's age reach out and they say, oh, how can we be part of GKPD? That is progress, because we haven't seen, and they're in foreign land, let me tell you that. So they're equally Kashmiri Pandit as much as anybody in India. So they are reaching out to GKPD and asking how they can be of any help. So that's a good sign. And as Virendraji said, the youth have to lead it, and they have to lead it in their colleges, in their universities, whether it's in India or outside. And that's how this movement is going to carry forward.
Thank you, Nija Didi. There's a question for Surendraji. Now, Surendraji, as we all know, the Kashmir Files has been massive. It's been a massive success, and GKPD has been the intellectual, logistics, and research partner of the Kashmir Files, and we continue to be over involved in it. You know, we are spending a lot of time. You had an event in Houston just last night, where so many, the who's who of Houston was invited, and we had a similar event in London last week. So the question is, how can we leverage the enthusiasm, because memory is short. Public memory is short. We can carry this on. But how is GKPD, because we have had so much input in the Kashmir Files, how are we going to formally leverage that? And one of the suggestions is, can we use that to against the fake propaganda from maybe across border, you know, what happened in Kashmir? Is there some kind of a plan to do that?
You know, we had envisioned that there will be a conversation after Kashmir Files. That's why we put our heart and soul into that project. Because this is the beauty of the cinema, that it creates an imprint in one's mind. So perhaps through this movie, there's a lot of conversations happening, not only in India, all over the globe. We had congressmen, elected representatives yesterday in the screening, and perhaps this was, I don't know, 10th, 11th screening in Houston, and they made statements about Kashmiri Pandit genocide. So this is a change that we are seeing, and we expect that it is going to get much more bigger and bigger by each passing day. So what I mean to say, that indirectly, it is also in the Indian context and our aspirations context, it is adding pressure to the government. And this pressure needs to be channelized. You know, we cannot allow, say, for example, the government, his intentions are good. They are doing everything in Kashmir that is good for India, and we agree. To that extent, that's absolutely fine. But as regards our community, we have not seen anything happening. I mean, I'm pretty sure there must be some plans, but we have not seen anything right now on the ground. So that aspect needs to be channelized properly, in a consolidated way, because that is how that pressures will build up. Now, as regards future programs, I think we will have sufficient 1 year. What is our plan is not only to use this from our issues, but also to highlight this whole thing aggressively, using any and every institution globally to highlight the case about what happened, because global terrorism is an issue, and we need to build alliances with persecuted communities and to highlight this and to make some more movement on this movie.
Yes, thank you, Surendraji. There's one question, I think it's more pertinent if Virendraji could answer that question. It's the ubiquitous question about Homeland. What is GKPD's view on Homeland? Virendraji, are you there? Do you want to answer that?
Yes, you see, our vision plan, what we did not reinvent the wheel, because we wanted to put the government in a position where they could not say no. So we looked at the existing what you call dispensations in the country, which the government has already given, and under which various tribes and various minorities are being, their aspirations are being handled quite well in a democratic process. So we realized that since J&K is already a union territory, and bifurcating it further, because we have seen a resistance from the government, they don't even think of creating a union territory for us. If they had to do it, they would have done it for the last 8 years. So what we decided is that let us look at the models which they can support. So we looked at this autonomous administrative division. Those from J&K, you must recall that in the Ladakh, they created 2 autonomous divisions, one Leh and one Kargil. And those autonomous divisions are in operation for the last more than a decade. After that, they created a union territory. So once we are asking for an autonomous administrative division, we cannot stop there. We can continue to ask for a union territory. But right now, just like in Ladakh, they created autonomous division and then they created a union territory as an umbrella. It can be, this demand can continue. So our demand for autonomous division, you can say it's a stepping stone. It doesn't prevent us from continuing to ask for a union territory. And if you see the bill, it's already proposed in the bill a one-place settlement with proper legislation. And there is an advisory committee of 20 persons from the community and some distinguished persons who will look into all these issues. Once this bill is debated in the parliament, you will see so many debates going on it. So many parties will bring their own dimensions to it. It's going to be a nationwide debate. Parliamentarians are going to discuss it. We will watch how it will evolve further. But right now, we have put the government on the defensive by asking for autonomous division, because there are already 31 autonomous divisions in the country. So our question is, if you can do it for 31 places, why cannot you do it for us? They don't have an answer. So, but once we have an autonomous division, the bill is proposing for a budget, independent budget for us. What does that mean? You have statutory powers. We have financial independence. We are asking for political representation. What does that mean? Clear out, sir.
Yes, I wanted to add further to it. Let me confess that I was very much in this concept of Panu Kashmir and Mardarshan resolution, and have acted aggressively for years in the corridors of power. But there are issues, because definitely there are certain constitutional things. I don't want to go into the merits and demerits of that, but I think there was a need to get something foothold, which meets the constitution policies, and that others cannot scuttle it, basically. So that is perhaps the one place settlement is as good as the Margdarshan resolution. The only thing is that we are not asking for union territory, but definitely an independent autonomous council. So it's not much different from that. Now, Margdarshan resolution had to be further refined because emphasis of GKPD has been genocide. We have been hammering genocide right, left, and center. Before that, I think the genocide had gone into the footnotes of the community history. We may say that, oh, we have been doing it, but I can tell you that in last 30 years, we have made petitions to the prime ministers, to the chief ministers, to the governors, and not even in one instance, we have addressed the framework of genocide in those petitions. Let us be very honest. And I have tons of those copies that I can provide the evidence. Nevertheless, genocide happened. It is all for all of us that this word is being hammered. I know in 2017, when GKPD was issuing a press release and writing about genocide, the media used to remove that word genocide. And then basically how we have tackled them and how we have done this. Now here's a mega thing about the Kashmir files, which is talking only about genocide. But leaving aside the semantics of this, who did what and who did that, that's fine. We always, we do not brag about things. That is the civility that we carry. We might have put in 80,000 worth of oxygen plant in Jammu. We have not even talked about it. We might have given an initial notice. So that is not our nature. So what I'm saying is that everybody needs to see the bill as a one-place settlement. It has lots and lots of inputs. It's an effort. We don't know what's going to happen, who is going to support this, who is not going to support it, but it is our right to put pressure. And that is what we will always try to do. So that is what point I wanted to add with this.
Thank you, Sundar. There's a lot of questions. This question is for Nija Didi. There's questions coming on why do we always, I mean, anyone can answer, but I think Nija Didi, you can answer why we always talk in English, sometimes in Hindi, but never in Kashmiri. So, I mean, I pride myself on my Kashmiri. My Kashmiri is the best, but I will leave it to you to answer the question.
ये आत्मो कशर पठी जवाब इसका चाहिए कि अशुर कशर तगान इस मारा च ब्रीद करान कशर खवान कशर सनान कशर वनान कशर तो कशरी सारनी हेचना वांते तिमन खवान ते पनुन खन इसन तिम कशर बनन मगर ये पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्मस पर छिवान ये तो वुचन वल तो बोजन वल सिर्फ कशर छन चाहे सो US UK Germany Australia सन outreach गमस सारनी सोसाइटी मन सारनी कम्युनिटी मन सन वेबिनार सिर्फ कशर लोग वुचान ये कशरन मन पन्निस ड्राइंग रूमस मन बेहमो करो कशर पठी कथ मगर ये नबर नेरान यतनस इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी या नेशनल कम्युनिटी ये तिमन सत करो तथ लैंग्वेज मज कथ तिमन फिक्र तर सोन वेबिनार सारी वुचान ये सारी वुचान इंडिया मन सारी वुचान जर्मनी मन सारी वुचान सारी मतलब मोन मतलब यम जुड़ित तो reason for us speaking in Hindi and English is that only we are very, very proud of our Kashmiri heritage. That goes beyond saying pointed questions divan ki to kya cha pata kashir me basan yuta kashir se judis che tamuk chun ka measure, I would say. So only reason is that because this is the public platform and GKPD is connected to several communities across the world. We have to speak a language that is understood by one and all. So that's my thing. But I want to come to another point, Shaf, if you let me. And I have seen a couple of questions regarding the Kashmir files. Two important ones that come to my mind. One, the Kashmir Files is a small budget movie, how it kind of gained so much of momentum, and it has earned so much of money that some of the money should go towards the Kashmiri Pandits. This question is coming up every day, and I would probably ask this question of Utpalji. Utpalji, yeah, I do want to ask you this.
In fact, if I will get chance tomorrow physically to talk at India International Center, I was going to raise this question. First of all, Vivek Agnihotri ji's Kashmir file, which is story on genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, has done so much of good to Kashmiri Pandit community, because what was in our heart, mind and soul for last 32 years, and I can say for last 700 centuries, 700 years. So this has come to light. And now every Indian and people in some 60, 70 countries are aware that what had happened to 5% minorities, and what had been done by these jihadis. And we are totally satisfied. We are so happy that this thing has happened, and we want to take it further. So we, Kashmiri Pandit community, and we all, and I personally will remain always indebted to Agnihotri ji. Although I say that the meeting of Dr. Surendra Kaul with Agnihotri ji had created the 11th Jupiter in the horoscope of Kashmir, and in the horoscope of Surendra ji and Agnihotri ji, and in the horoscope of Kashmiri Pandit community and of India.
Amen.
So it has become such a great combination, and we will take this combination further and make it sure that we win and we get the success. But at the same time, I say that on behalf of GKPD and on behalf of Kashmiri Pandit community, that we are not so low that we sell our pain. We are not going to sell our pain. If anybody says that this money should be given to Kashmiri Pandit community, no, not at all. It will be a humiliation. It will be an insult. We don't do business of our pain. So this money belongs to Agnihotri and to his producers or whosoever it is. We don't look at their money, and Kashmiri Pandits and GKPD doesn't count others' money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Utpalji. I think we are nearing the end of the session. Just find some final comments from all the panel before we conclude. Surendraji, first for you, do you want to just outline 4 key initiatives that GKPD is working on at the moment going forwards?
So GKPD currently is continuously working with awareness and propagation of the Kashmir files at a global level. Number 2 is that we are doing an outreach with the government, with the political system establishment in the country, leaving aside the Jammu and Kashmir leadership right now. We are focusing on the national. We'll be writing to the member parliaments to solicit support for our bill. And that has already started. Actually, we have sent it to quite a few leaders there. Number 3 is that one of the very important thing that has come out is the need for establishing a genocide museum, and that will be a very important project moving forward. And I request all the community architects who have experiences in this genocide thing, and also will be creating a national team who have experiences outside the community also, because this will be a flagship project, and we will include many other people outside the community. Then, we will always request that, we will always hope that there is oneness within the community as regards political things are concerned. I will reiterate that the GKPD one place settlement is no different from Margdarshan resolution that has been there. So we do not undermine whatever we do. We are very serious about it. But there is absolutely, the only thing is that It is the constitutional framework where we don't have any resistance to that, because every time we were hearing this and that, but here is the thing which meets the criteria of all the constitutional articles and the precedents happening already in India. So that is, and last but not the least, we are not in competition with any organization. But if somebody sees us in competition with them, that is absolutely wrong. I would always request them that please don't see in that frame of mind. We are one. Let us try to be each other's voice. There is a need to bring, especially for those who are making some reckless statements, impulsive statements on the social media. It's not good. It's not going to help. And dialogue is always the way forward. And the good thing is that the GKPD has been able to have support and help from most of the sabhas, basically, and mainstream organizations. And that consensus document is a mandate to GKPD about what they are doing. That will be very clear. So there are all mainstream organizations who are signatory to that document. They may change their stand here and there, but the one that is in record is what matters. So we have a mandate, and with all the organizations, almost 36 organizations, and we will move forward with them along with the civil society for a very impactful things for the community.
Thank you, Surendra. And the next question to close, Nirja, being the international coordinator, do you want to suggest how we can leverage the audience, international audience, to come and support us? What would be the mechanism to do that?
Yes, Shefali, international audiences, I mean, the purpose of having the pre-screenings here in US before the release of the Kashmir files was actually to get the Indian community and of course the American community as well on board with what has happened to Kashmiri Pandits in 1990 and onwards. And the engagement continues, and there has been no stopping. Ever since I think I've been here in US, we have not stopped that, on that account. We've been conveying our message, but the intensity that the Kashmir files came with and the message that it conveyed has made a huge impact here in power corridors, in social circles, in our friend circles, and that knew part of it and did not have any visual to kind of identify this genocide. So we will continue doing that. We'll continue reaching out to our representatives here, congressmen, Republicans, Democrats, whosoever, to kind of get this addressed, no matter how. We have to do it whichever way we find, wherever we find some meaningful people to kind of be in cohesion with us. And apart from that, I think there's one good thing that has happened, that so far, we as Kashmiri Pandits, we were the ones who were answering questions all across. Anybody posting a question on social media, we had to go out and respond. It's not happening anymore. There are other communities I see on a day-to-day basis on social media that are talking on behalf of us. And that is the level of awareness that this Kashmir Files has given to our genocide, and we'll continue doing that. And as Surendra ji suggested, so many initiatives we have, we'll keep on doing that. Utpal ji has mentioned so many people reaching out, and we'll be possibly inducting them in GKPD and let them have initiatives on their own, and we'll be supporting them. Same thing with you in UK, and every other country will be hammering this till we get our justice.
Thank you. Nijati, just to add about the youngsters, somebody asked about youngsters. We have got GKPD youngsters led by Vanshika Bhatt, who is, I think she has joined this webinar. So if youngsters, India and abroad want to get involved, Vanshika has been doing a lot of work with GKPD on behalf of youth. So if people want to join, then they are most welcome to join there. So Utpal ji, any concluding remarks on the way forward? When catch karun? Next webinar karab cash point, magar totain cash karun.
I think I am very happy that all our volunteers across the globe are hyperactive, and I appeal youngsters, I appeal all ages, men, women, and even old people who are sitting at home only having shir chai and telur, and everyone can join and share their thoughts. Not only share, but let them come forward and say, I will contribute in this field. So we are very happy that we are determined and we are dedicatedly, we have devoting our time for community and for Kashmir. Urzu, Lisiv, God bless. The Ash Zangatre Hundo, as a seri Parbat Gasan, Bhagavati Kari Sarni Raksha, Bhagavati Sharika Bhagavati Hunchu Sari Hud Ashirwad. Namaskar. Bahut bahut dhanyawad. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think we are nearing the end of the session. बहुत अच्छा लगा. I think this was long due, because there were so many questions coming. And thank you to the audience who have joined us on Facebook and asked us the questions. So we will carry on these conversations. We are going to be here. I just wanted to conclude by saying that people who have joined us on Facebook, I know everybody is interested in the community. Sabko wapas jaane ka wo hai. Somebody was asking about should we get a low-hanging fruit, like get some townships or land or whatever. So I think low-hanging fruit is not the answer. We need to have a long strategy, a very well thought out strategy, and I think that is the USP of GKPD, is that there is a strategy. There is a method in the madness. So please follow us and like and share our GKPD Facebook page. And if you're interested in any of the projects, just join any of the India or UK, US coordinators. And believe me, you'll be more than welcomed, like we all have been. Thank you so much. Namaskar. 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 Thank you all.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar.